So I started out with SEO as my main business with a company called Submit Express. Other people, there are also different type of people. You could go here on this page called Wikipedia Notability Guidelines. If you disclose you're a paid editor, then you have to submit the page for an admin approval. What to do? If I click on I'm paid, it's gonna say copy paste this code in your user page. So we're gonna do that right now. And this time I'm gonna do it manually, because not always it grabs the correct information, and sometimes you have to do it manually. So when I hired a company to do it for me, then I started referring some of my clients to them to make a page. And then eventually I kind of learned, so the admins of the website, the owners of the website, they'll do that. There's also another one called Wikipedia. Unfortunately, Wikipedia, you see all the talent that come up.
Wow.
Because whoever it ranks high is usually people have.
Hi Pierre, welcome. And today we're gonna talk about how to create a Wikipedia page. So just before you start, can you please tell everybody about you and your journey of becoming one of the leading experts in the world today?
Hello, thank you for having me on the show. So yeah, let me give you a little bit background about myself and we can get started. So I started out with SEO as my main business with a company called Submit Express back in 1998, the same year that Google started, and we were one of the first SEO companies. And I was actually able to get my own company to rank pretty high in Google for the word search engine optimization in the early to mid 2000s. So as a result, we were getting a lot of leads, and the business was doing pretty good. We're getting a lot of leads and signing up on SEO until about 2008, when the economy slowed down. But not only that, also Google started favoring more of the informative sites versus commercial sites. So I decided to expand my services into other areas, such as reputation management. So Submit Express is my main company. If you want to switch over to that Submit Express page on the tab right there, there you go. So that's my main company. And then Reputation Stars is my reputation management company that I launched later, which I offer reputation management services as well as Wikipedia page creations from here. And then I also do web design and social media marketing, but that's not a big part of my business. So SEO and reputation management and Wikipedia page creation is most of my business. I'm also on Upwork if people want to look me up, and I've done over 450 pages to date in Wikipedia. I've done thousands of edits, and I'm one of the top Wikipedia editors on Upwork.
Wow.
So that's a little bit background about myself.
Wow. So these two are your two companies, Submit Express and Reputation.
Yes.
Like you launched this. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this is awesome. And yeah, you're right. You are one of the top specialists in the world today. One of the top rated freelancers on Upwork. That's not happening. It's not by accident. That's just shows how good you are.
Yes. Thank you. And it's not easy to keep a high rating.
Yes.
I think I have a 97 to 98% rating.
Yeah.
It's hard to get to that 100%, but it's just even there, 97, 98%. It's hard to remain there, because you got to keep everybody pretty much happy and to have a high rating. So yeah.
It just shows how you have very good customer relationship. You are a very good professional. You know how to talk to people, how to handle all people emotions.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. So let's get to it. So Wikipedia. So how to create a Wikipedia page?
Yes. So let me share my screen here and we can get started. First, I want to go through some requirements of what's needed to have a Wikipedia page. And what's needed is different for people versus companies. So let's start with people. Obviously, the biggest criteria to have a Wikipedia page is how many news citations you have. And what that means is basically articles that others have written about you. It cannot be a press release, because press release is something you put out personally. And then sometimes it gets picked up by different publications and they post it as is. So if a press release gets picked up and they post it as is, it's usually not acceptable. Only in very few conditions a press release might be acceptable, such as, let's say, a company does a name change and you put out a press release for that, that you change your name, I mean, that press release is the only thing out there about it, then yeah, you could use it because it's still accurate, right? People can verify that your company name has changed. So in that case, sometimes use it and get away, but usually they don't accept it. So what they want to see is articles by reliable publications also. You can't just be on a small blogger's website and expect that you're going to qualify. Podcasts also don't work. People may think, well, they got podcasts and may work. And also interviews. Interviews don't work because interviews are considered unreliable when it's coming directly from the subject. But if the interview has a section like intro section written by the interviewer and has some bio about the person, maybe that bio is acceptable and they could use that part of it as a citation, but you can't use the actual interview as a citation. As an example, you could go out there and just say, I made $1 million last year, right, in an interview. But that's not verified, right? How can they verify that you really made $1 million? But when a publication writes about you, it's assumed that a reliable publication such as, I don't know, Wall Street Journal, LA Times, USA Today, and all those big kind of publications, their journalists will do research on you. They'll ask for your financials. They'll verify everything. They're not just going to say this guy made $1 million last year. They're going to verify it before they post it. So that's why reliable publications like that, big name publications, are trusted, and the smaller ones are not. So what they usually want to see is they don't actually disclose how many news publications you need to have for acceptance. It's kind of vague. All the criteria says is that you need significant news coverage. So that really comes down on the reviewing admin, where different admins might have their own different criteria on what is acceptable and what is not. One admin may consider 5 or so citations good enough. One may require like 10 or so, and one may just require 2 or 3 good citations. But generally what I've seen, if you have 2 or 3 really good citations from good, reliable publications, and then you have a bunch of mentions and other smaller quotations and things like that, then you should be able to get in. So what you want to keep in mind is if it's just a mention of you or a quotation, you or your company, that's usually not considered an in-depth article. They want to see in-depth articles. What that means is majority of the article is about you. At least 2 or 3 paragraphs of the article is about you. So those are kind of the requirements they're looking at. Now, for companies and people, those exact requirements are the same. You need to have significant news coverage. But for individuals, there are some additional criteria that if you meet, you might get in without having enough news coverage. For example, academics such as professors or people that have written books or a lot of articles, they're considered academics. They may have a lot of citations from Google Scholar. If you go to Google Scholar, and let's go here on my screen to look at some examples. Let me just type a random name here. You can see an example here. Just type John, and here we got Oliver P. John as an example. This is the guy's Google Scholar page. You could see that he has 124,000 citations. And these citations are not normal citations like you use for Wikipedia, but these are academic citations. These are like anybody that wrote or published a journal article or a book or something like that, and they used this guy's articles as a citation. He got a point here on his citations. So if you have hundreds of citations as an academic, you will qualify. So that's just an example for an academic. Now, for musicians, we have different criteria. And let me go back to Wikipedia so I could show you the criteria for the musicians. So there's a page here. Go to down here, we have 12 criteria for musicians. And I'm not going to read them, but I kind of summarize what it says here. For example, we got if you had a single or album on any country's national music chart, that usually means top 100. So if you had a top 100 single or album on any country's chart, you will qualify. Doesn't matter how much news coverage you have. Even if you had no news coverage, but you had one top 100 record, you will qualify. So that's one of them. Then there are things like radio airplay. If you had radio airplay, you're going to qualify. There is things like having been on 2 or more record labels, major record labels, you will qualify. If you played concerts in 2 or more countries or had tours in 2 or more countries and you had write-ups, you would qualify. If you want any kind of award, you may qualify, but the awards will need to be well known. So here we go, like on this line here, you be nominated for a major music award such as Grammys, Juno, Mercury, Choice, or Grammys. I don't know why they have Grammys twice here, but those kind of awards will make you qualify. Now there might be some other music awards that they're out there that you might make you qualify, but usually they're looking for major awards. If the award itself has a Wikipedia page, that's a safe bet that they will accept the award. Also, if you want competitions such as American Idol or The Voice, or you've been second or third place, that might also make you qualify. So there are a few more things here that you can read later. Now, for people, other people, there are also different type of people. You could go here on this page called Wikipedia Notability Guidelines. Well, this is for music, but let's go. There's a general notability guideline page, which is here. There are more criteria here for people. So for a person, if the person also has won some kind of award, any kind of award that may make them qualify, it has to be a kind of a well-known award. And also for artists or filmmakers or things like that, there are criteria here. Let me try to bring up that section here. So for filmmakers, again, awards or artists or anybody like that, awards are a criteria. I'm sorry, that section didn't come up. Let me scroll down to it. There it is, creative professionals. The person is regarded as an important figure or is widely cited by peers or successors. That's a criteria. The person is known for originating a significant new concept, theory, or technique. The person has created or played a major role in co-creating a significant or well-known work or collective body of work. In addition, such work must have been primary subject of multiple independent periodical articles or reviews, and so on and so on. And then we have the last one. The person's work has become a significant monument, being a substantial part of significant exhibition, or wants significant critical attention, or being represented within the permanent collection of several notable galleries or museums. So the last one is mainly for like artists or like people that have art or statues or paintings or those kind of things that have been on museums, they may qualify. Or when it comes to a filmmaker or a writer, if their work or it could be like an author of a book, if their work has been reviewed by a lot of different publications, they may also qualify for that reason. So here on this page, we have some criteria for different types of things. Like if it's a film page, there's different criteria for that. So I'm not going to go through this, but the major ones are for people and the companies that I went through. So those are the criteria. Now let's go and talk about how to make a page and what to do and how to hire someone like me. So reviews. But a better way is to go to Upwork and search for Wikipedia editors there. I'm an Upwork editor, and you will find me there also, but you can also compare me to others and get quotes. My pricing, it's not the highest and it's not the lowest, but some people might want to still save some money, and there are people out there that might charge less than I do, and they may want to go with them. So
So do they contact you directly, or do you, let's say you have a big name like Denzel Washington, do you contact Denzel, say, hey, can I write your wiki page, or he has to contact you?
Yeah, they usually contact me. I don't contact anyone for that. And there's some rare occasions when I find somebody that's pretty well notable, I may contact them and say, hey, would you like a page, see if they would want to hire me. But I rarely do that. I get enough business as is from Upwork and other sources, referrals, and my own websites.
And then you're gonna go to make sure they're qualified, they meet the requirements.
Yes. I mean, if I find someone that is well known and they don't have a page, I might just make the page for them anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do make random pages for people anyway, or companies. I might do that. because they're well known.
But if you do that, how you get paid? Is that Wikipedia?
No, just well, the thing is like
Just to build your portfolio?
I don't want to only be doing paid editing, because when
Right.
you only do paid editing, your account doesn't look good.
Yes.
You want to have some random edits too in the mix. You
Right.
only do paid editing, they're gonna say, the admins are gonna say that you're not here to help Wikipedia
Yes.
positively. You're
Yes.
only doing paid edits.
Yes.
They want to see that you're also doing some random positive edits to Wikipedia, and you're here to make Wikipedia better,
Yes.
not only do paid edits.
Yeah, I really think Wikipedia is one of the best website in the world. Like it's very trusted, very well written. So who owned Wikipedia?
So Wikipedia was started by one person. I forget his name, but it's a nonprofit organization. So there's a bunch of people on the organization. It's nonprofit, so nobody makes any money out of it.
Right.
All the admins and editors are volunteers. They have very few paid employees at Wikipedia. The paid employees are only in charge of their corporate stuff, their legal stuff, and like just doing their corporate stuff. And as far as PR and those kind of things, people that edit the Wikipedia, they're all volunteers. From the early days, the founders of Wikipedia, they came up with some policies, they got it going, and then over the years, these policies have also changed in the community. If so they want to do a new policy, they are going to propose a policy, and different admins and editors will come in and vote, say yes, we agree, no, we don't agree. And then eventually, if the majority agrees, they're going to bring that policy forward and make it into a policy. So the policies have changed over the years. It's actually gotten a lot harder to qualify for a Wikipedia page nowadays versus in the early days. You might see a lot of pages still on Wikipedia that don't really necessarily comply with today's standards of the notability guidelines. That's because those pages were made a long time ago. And if somebody were to nominate a page like that for deletion, then that page might actually get deleted. And I'll go through what that means in a little bit after I show you, talk about more how pages are created and how they're deleted and all that.
Okay, so where Wikipedia is based?
It's a US-based corporation. I think they're in Silicon Valley somewhere as far as their corporate headquarters. But obviously, all the admins and editors are all over the world, and nobody really discloses who they are in real life. Very few admins do that. They might say where they're from, but they may not. Usually they don't. People don't disclose personal information on themselves.
That's true.
Wikipedia.
It's a very, very good website, and like you said, it's very hard to get in. It's you have a lot of requirements. I think it's just one of the few places in the internet today where you can just go read something, without drama, without comment, all of that. Just plain nice.
Yeah, and a lot of the information on it is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief that some of the information on it may be inaccurate. Well, some may be inaccurate, but majority, I would say 99% is accurate, especially when it comes to popular subject. When you go to an obscure subject, there's a higher chance that something may not be accurate. But when it's a popular subject, scientific subject, or health or medical related subject, there are so many different editors and admins that look at those edits that eventually, if there is something inaccurate in there, it will be caught and removed. In fact, something inaccurate usually is caught and removed within a day. So it's pretty accurate for majority of subjects. It has to be pretty obscure subject for it not to be accurate. So yeah, let's go through how you actually make a page. So if somebody hires me or they want to make a page for themselves, somebody actually could propose a page to be created for themselves, but you have to know a little bit of a Wikipedia coding to be able to do that. You can't just copy paste of Microsoft Word document and expect someone to make the page for you. You have to know a little bit of a coding. So you either have to do a little bit of a research to figure out how to code and insert the references, or you have to hire someone to do it for you. But I always recommend to hire someone to do it for you, because there's so many different criteria that if you're not familiar with this kind of things, you're going to get declined. And once you get declined, it's harder to get approved the second time. They look at the decline history, and they're more likely to decline you a second time if you already been declined one time. So I would suggest not to try to do it yourself. A lot of people come to me, or some people coming to me have been in this situation. They've been declined because they tried to make the page themselves and they got declined. And in fact, some people don't know that if you're trying to make your page yourself, you're supposed to disclose that you have a conflict of interest. And if you don't, that's against the policies, and that they could just decline you for that because you didn't disclose it. Now, as a paid editor, I'm required to disclose that I'm a paid. There are really actually two ways to submit a page. One is to disclose you're a paid editor, and one is not to disclose you're a paid editor. If you disclose you're a paid editor, then you have to submit the page for an admin approval. And currently, the wait to get approved or to be even reviewed is about 3 to 4 months, which is something most people don't like. And I'm going to show you the queue. And this method is called articles for creation. Here on this page, there's some more information about it. And I'm going to scroll down to this right here. These numbers here show how many pages are waiting to be reviewed. So just today, 97 pages were submitted. Yesterday, 62 pages are in queue. That doesn't mean 62 pages were submitted. There are probably about 100 pages submitted, and some of them already got declined. So there is, or some of them might have gotten approved, and there is 62 remaining from a day ago. And if you go all the way here to 4 months, there are 35 pages that have been waiting for 4 months. We could go here and take a look. These pages have been waiting for 4 months to get there. Let's look at somebody in random. Meg Coffee. They actually been declined one time. This red section means they've been declined, and they submitted and it's waiting for review. And it was declined in November 22nd. And after I assume, like, well, they didn't submit it right away, but they must have submitted somewhere around April. It's been 4 months since they're waiting. So that's an example of a page being, it's in the draft mode, as you can see. It's waiting for admin review. So then you got here 3 months, 679 pages have been waiting for about 3 months, and so on. So they don't necessarily review pages in the first come, first order. It could be in random order. I even had clients that were reviewed within a day or two, and that they just got lucky and they were reviewed within a day or two. But most, I would say 90% or more of people.
So if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe and check my courses online. So you can go at Online Campus School and subscribe here and hit the notification so you get notified anytime you upload new videos. We have very interesting content here. So feel free to go ahead and watch whatever you like. You can also check my courses on Udemy. This is one of my latest course, Solar System 101 course for all level. This is one of the—
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm MD Jallo. I am an educator, a project manager, a data analyst about space and the long skills from public available information. Would you like to learn and refresh your knowledge about what is space? How big is space? About our solar system, about our own star, the sun, Kuiper Belt, the Earth cloud, beyond our solar system, with exoplanets and galaxies, planets, dwarf planets, moons in our solar system, and then learn about eclipses, asteroids, comets. I will see you inside the course. Ready, set, let's go.
So you can check that course if you like it, to learn a little bit about our solar system, and also have other courses there. You can see here some other courses: the Ultimate Amazon Leadership Principle Masterclass, complete course on top 41 legit ideas to make money, a brief beginner's guide to gaming, a brief introduction about America. That's a great course also. Starting a business in America as a foreigner. Okay, that one also is a great course. Of course, the solar system course, one of the highest rated course right now on Udemy. Very hard. Make sure to check it out. All right, back to the video.
Where they say you need to improve this page and resubmit it, and then you could improve and try to resubmit. And the third way is they nominate it for deletion. And I will show you some examples of pages that have been nominated for deletion, and it's called articles for deletion. If you type WP :AFD, that page will come up. And for articles for creation was WP:AFC, if you want to see the criteria for that.
And this WP, everyone can type this? Or
yes, everybody can type it and it will come up.
Wow.
It takes you to a section of Wikipedia that has all the basically all the different criteria and their terms and policies. So you go to WP:/AFD, that brings you up to this link here. And here you could see the criteria, how a page gets deleted and all that. And you could see here some of the pages that have been nominated for deletion. Usually a page is nominated for deletion, it would stay up for voting for about 7 days. Basically, different editors and admins can come in and vote to keep the page or to delete the page. You don't have to be an admin to vote on it. You could be a normal editor. Even the creator of the page can also vote on their own page, but usually the admins can tell that the creator is one of the voters. They may not value that vote too much because you're the creator, but still you might be able to post some arguments, because when they nominate your page for deletion, they have to say why they're nominated it, and they're gonna say, let's just say they think you don't have enough citations. They say they don't, this person or company doesn't have enough citations or doesn't have in-depth coverage, right? And now for me as a paid editor, they hire me, I could go in and post a keep vote for my client and say, well, I don't agree. Why? Because look at this article here, or look at this other article here. It's pretty in-depth. So even though my vote may not count so much because I'm the creator, I might be able to post a few good arguments to keep the page. And then the people that come in after me to vote, they might consider my arguments before they vote. And it might help for them to post a keep vote. They say, oh, he has actually good arguments there, so we're going to agree with him and post a keep vote. So here's a page that was recently kept. It says keep here, and you could see the different editors. It says now some of them have been strike out. I don't know why. Maybe they were found to be spammers or had multiple accounts. They struck this out, and they didn't count. Or actually, this person looks like they changed their votes later. First they put delete, and this is the person's ID. You could see the same person posted the keep later. So. And when you post a keep or delete vote, you also have to post a reason why. And your reason can be just because, hey, oh, this is a popular company, or this is a popular person, it should be kept. That cannot be a reason. You have to go based on the criteria, and you need to know what those criteria is. So if you say this person has a lot of news articles about them and they're very in-depth, then that's a good reason to say why to keep it. Or if you're deleting it, you could say, like this guy says, no evidence of notability. If sources are found, please ping me. So they didn't think the sources were reliable, so they posted as an argument there. So you could see sometimes you can even say Wik keep or Wik delete, but that doesn't matter. You say Wik keep or keep, that's counted as keep as one vote. Even if it's Wik keep or regular keep, is counted as one keep vote. If it's a Wik delete, it's also counted as one delete vote. So it doesn't matter. It's just kind of different way of saying it. You could see most other people voted to keep the page, and eventually after 7 days, actually what happened is after 7 days, this is the 7-day notice, there were not enough votes, and this got renewed. And then after 2 weeks, it was kept. So if after 1 week there are not enough votes, it will get renewed one more time. And if there are not enough votes, or the votes are about equal, if keep and delete votes are about equal, it's going to get renewed. It goes on for 3 weeks. If after 3 weeks the votes are still about equal, it may actually be kept because there is no consensus that it should get. That's
awesome. So who can be admin?
Who can be an admin?
Yeah.
An admin needs to have at least, I'd say, like 1,000 or so edits before they apply. Even I think 500 edits you could apply, but you might get declined. Usually 1,000 to 2,000 edits, and you apply to become an admin. They're gonna look at your history. They want to see that you haven't done any paid editing, or if you done paid editing, you have to have disclosed it, and so they don't suspect some of your pages are paid editing. You have to have done different types of edits. You have to have participated in deletion discussions and different policy making discussions and those kind of things. So if you have some history and done thousands of edits, you can apply. That doesn't mean you get approved, but they'll review it and they may say yes or no. Sometimes they will approve you on a professional basis for a few months. Like for 6 months, you're a professional admin, and then they'll approve you for a permanent admin position. And there are also different levels of admins. There are page reviewers that review new pages. They're not full-time admins. They just have that kind of a adminship. They're only page reviewers, and they're full admins where they could review pages, they could delete pages, or they do other things. Now, I also wanted to warn people that if you wanted to hire a paid editor, but not disclose paid editing, you have to be careful on who you hire on Upwork, because there are 3 or 4 editors that are known to report to the Wikipedia admins that this person might have hired a paid editor, because you talk to them, and 3 of them are offshore, 1 of them is American, and they do this, and it's kind of shady what they do, but that's how it is, I don't know, they're trying to kind of mess up the work for other editors out there, and also increase the work for themselves. That's what I'm guessing, but it's not the right thing to do, but they do that. So be careful. If you're not gonna disclose paid editing, sometimes it's also harder to get in that way too, because if they suspect that you hired a paid editor, they have the right to decline the page. And then the only way you can submit is this way. Then you can say, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I didn't know that I can't hire a paid editor. So this time we're trying again and we're disclosing, then they'll consider you. But if somebody reports you that you tried to hire a paid editor and the paid editor didn't disclose, that's when you can get in trouble. If the paid editor discloses, you don't have a problem.
Okay.
They don't disclose, then you might have a problem. So I want to let people know about that.
Okay, so who can be volunteer for Wikipedia?
Anybody. You could be a volunteer. Anybody can be a volunteer. In fact, before I started doing paid editing, I was just doing volunteer and doing different editing. That's how I learned about it.
Do they train you, or you just figure out?
No, I learned everything on my own. Well, the way I actually learned is initially back in 2013, about 10 years ago, I hired a company to do a Wikipedia page for my company, Submit Express.
Okay.
And the page was actually live for 5 pages. As I said before, the criteria was a lot easier. And then at some point after 5 years, they decided I don't meet the criteria anymore, and they deleted it.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it was actually easier before. Criteria was easier to get in. Back then, any citation was good. So I had personally have been interviewed in LA Times, Wall Street Journal, and a bunch of other publications. My company, Submit Express, won Inc. 5000 3 times and Fast 500 twice. So my company is pretty well known, notable. We were one of the biggest SEO companies in the 2000s, and we were doing maybe 10 trade shows annually back then. My company is pretty well known from back in the day. Now, maybe not so much known to new people, but a lot of the old timers know me and my company from my SEO days. So I was pretty notable, but I was surprised that it got deleted, but it did. So when I hired a company to do it for me, then I started referring some of my clients to them to make a page. And then eventually I kind of learned how it works. And I said, well, why am I paying this other company $1,000 to make pages for my clients? I could do it myself, and I can charge people $1,000 to do a Wikipedia page. And that's kind of like the going prices these days. Like $1,000 is kind of normal. There are people who will charge less. There are people that charge more. So if people want to know also how much does it cost to hire a paid editor, it could be anywhere from like $300-400 to I would say $2,000. So people, just different Upwork freelancers have different rates. If you go out with a company that you Google, they might charge actually a lot more than people on Upwork would charge. But yeah, so that's some more details for you.
Wow. So you just say, hey, instead of paying someone, let me learn it and do it myself. That's great, actually. That's great. So why is it important to have a Wikipedia page for people and for business?
Well, obviously, it's for to show that you're somewhat famous. Your company is well known and you're famous. And if you're trying to get a job and you have a Wikipedia page, that might be good. If you're trying to raise some funds for a company and the company has a Wikipedia page, or the founders have a Wikipedia page, that looks good. If you're an author, if you're a musician, you want to have a Wikipedia page. You're an actor, especially actors. If you're an actor and if you're a new actor, you don't have a Wikipedia page, it might be hard for you to get jobs. But if you have a Wikipedia page, you might get more jobs because you do have a Wikipedia page. Now, I also want to tell you that if you don't qualify for a Wikipedia page, there are some alternate wiki pages you can make that may rank high. And I wanted to show you an example for myself here.
Yeah.
And this is my page. When you Google my name, this is what comes up. And this is called the Google Knowledge Panel, where you see all the information on top and on the right. And this kind of stuff will get generated if you have some of these wiki pages. So some of the wiki pages help. Also, IMDb page helps. And I got lucky with the IMDb page because somebody gave me a credit on one of their films for helping them out. And I had an IMDb page. That helps.
Wow.
And having news articles out there helps. And a few things that you do like helps. So if you write articles, like I write a lot of articles, so some of my articles showed up here, that helps. So Fandom is one of those sites. It's kind of like Wikipedia, but it has a different looking format. This is my fandom page. So anybody can make a fandom page for themselves, or they can hire someone like me to make it for them. So you can see anybody can click edit and actually edit my page. It's like Wikipedia. The editors here are volunteers. So I didn't qualify for a Wikipedia page for myself, but Fandom, I made a page and it was okay. Now, also on Fandom, they delete pages too if you're not that well known, but it's easier to get in, but you're not 100% safe. You may still get deleted, even on the other wikis, it still may get deleted, but it's a lot easier. If you have a couple of news articles about yourself out there, yeah, then you're safe. You should be able to get in. If it doesn't look like spam, you should be able to get in. And then the next one I'm on, it's a site called Everybody Wiki. So let's scroll down. And my fandom was actually ranking pretty high. Usually, if you don't have too many teams, your wiki pages that you make will end up ranking high. And here's my Everybody Wiki page. Well, this is, I'm seeing some Arabic letters here for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. I don't see that here. So
it looks like
Wikipedia. This looks like Wikipedia, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because they actually licensed the Wikipedia software. It's open source software. They licensed it. So it's using the same exact backend.
Yeah.
So the coding on this is similar. Exactly like Wikipedia, you insert the references, citations the same way. And also they use some of the Wikipedia data too. So you'll see pages. Usually what they do is people that get deleted on Wikipedia, they'll add them here. So the admins of the website, the owners of the website, they'll do that. There's also another one called Wikipedia. Unfortunately, Wikipedia, it's you can't just get in on yourself unless you pay $1,000 to buy an admin account, or you can hire someone that has an admin account, and that's me. I have an admin account here, so you can hire me to make a Wikipedia page for you. And this one is actually the best one out of all the ones out there. It ranks the best. If you make a Wikipedia page, it ranks really good. There's another one called Wiki Alpha. Again, these are, I think maybe it's wikialpha.org. Let me see, .com. These are using the open source software from Wikipedia. There you go. So the backend looks exactly like Wikipedia. There's a few more out there. There's some specialized ones too. There's one for like Bitcoin wiki for cryptocurrencies and those kind of things. So there's some specialized ones out there too that you can make and usually rank better. Now, there's also something called a Wikidata. Wikidata is a database basically owned by Wikipedia. This helps with your Google Knowledge Panel creation. So especially for people. And as an example, we'll type Johnny Depp again to look at his Wikidata page. Basically what it is, it's a bunch of fields like your sex or gender, male, where you're from, United States, your name, your birth name, other given names, family name, date of birth, mother, father, and those kind of things, if it's known. There is also stuff like your occupation. Yeah, it actually turned out to have a lot of occupations besides acting, but different various versions of acting are here. Like it's got television acting versus film acting and voice acting, nightclub owner, guitarist, actor, and a musician. And then your education. Then it will also have your social media links and your website links. So like if you type Facebook. Let's see, there's a Facebook page. There you go. Your Facebook ID, how many followers you have on Facebook might be here. Your Twitter, your Instagram, your IMDb. So all your information is here. It's basically telling Google, as some of the other surgeons, who you are. And if there are maybe two people with the same name, this is a good way to distinguish you from the other person. So this and all the other Wiki pages will help you get the Google Knowledge Panel. That's one of the reasons I have a Knowledge Panel myself, not the main reason. IMDb also help. And there are also a few other profiles that help. I also do this service for people too. So if you want to have a Google Knowledge Panel, I could help you get there. In my opinion, a Google Knowledge Panel is better than a Wikipedia page. Why? Because as soon as you Google your name, all this information comes up for you, your picture, your data, and all this. It's higher than Wikipedia. It's ranking usually. Even if Wikipedia is number one, this information is before that, so it looks better. So yeah, that's all I have. You have any questions?
Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. It was really interesting. As people can see, we learn a lot how to make a Wikipedia page. Thank you for sharing this with everybody. You are one of the top, specialists of Wikipedia today, also an SEO expert. You have those two companies, Submit Express and Reputation Stars. Yeah. So let's say, what's your day-to-day look like, and what's your advice for people right now? People who are struggling, looking for.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to contact me for more advice, you can contact me from my website, submitexpress.com.
Okay.
If you go on a contact page, you can contact me. By the way, even though I'm a freelancer, I do have some people that work for me. I have some staff, so it's not just me. One of my staff might get the email and respond to you or forward it to me. My email is Pierre, Pierre, at submitexpress.com. It's pretty easy. You can email me directly. I'm not that good in answering emails because sometimes they get mixed with the junk. It's better to actually fill out this form because I don't miss that. It comes to our website and I don't miss that. You can get a hold of me on Upwork, but I rather you get a hold of me directly. Why? Because Upwork will charge 10% fee to freelancers, and I have to pass that on to the customer. So if you go to me directly, you get a better rate, basically. And let me show you my Upwork profile here.
Yeah, so people can reach out to you here or on Upwork. So do you have any advice for someone who want to get into Wikipedia page creation, what they need to do?
As a business or to make it for themselves?
Yeah, as a business, they want to learn how to do it and become someone like you, like let's say a young person,
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there are not too many sources to learn about it.
Right.
I haven't even seen too many. There are some Wikipedia, YouTube videos. People can search for, there are some YouTube videos, but they're not that good. They're very basic. The only way you're gonna learn is by trial and error. You become an editor, you start doing it, and you learn about it. They have a lot of different criteria that you can read about a lot of like frequently asked pages and information on Wikipedia itself to learn about their different policies. So you can just read about it, find out all the different policies. I would recommend to make a friend with someone like me or different editors out there for advice, someone with more
find a mentor
experience than you. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
I became friends with some editors that knew more than me. Yeah. Now I know as much as them, or maybe I might know more than one of the people that was helping me out before, So yeah, that's what I recommend is the best way is find someone that has a lot more knowledge than you to get advice from.
Yeah, that's good. Find a mentor,
find a mentor, yes.
Try to find someone like you can learn, maybe you can train them, they can come help you with some of your work or work for you because you have several companies. So as a general advice for freelance, right now a lot of people are struggling to make extra money. The economy goes up and down, a lot of companies are doing layoff. So what advice do you give to people to make extra money, extra income?
I wouldn't say Wikipedia is a good way to make money to get in. I mean, if you can be really good at it, yes.
Right.
But the problem with Wikipedia is that you get banned pretty quickly if you start making paid pages, it's not easy. And a lot of new editors come in and they make a few pages, they get banned, and they decide to give up. They don't come back. So it's not the best way, but it's not an easy job to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But about freelancing in general, let's say someone who is a freelancer on Upwork, how to get job, how to maintain high.
What I would say is
how to
find a
maintain
niche that's
high
not too
rating.
competitive.
Yeah.
Find a niche. So I found my niche was Wikipedia.
Right.
Because it's not that competitive. Whereas I wanted to get more jobs on SEO and reputation management on Wikipedia, but it's so competitive. Also Google Ads. I do Google Ads management, Facebook Ads management.
Right.
But it's so competitive that it's hard to get jobs. And then once you get an Upwork account up, every time you apply for a job, you have to pay for credits. But it's not that expensive to apply for jobs. It costs about anywhere. A job is usually from 2 credits to like 6 credits. And each credit is 15 cents. So 6 credits will cost you what, like 90 cents, something like that. I mean, you might need to, if as a newcomer, you might need to apply to like 100 jobs before you get a job.
Wow.
It's not gonna be easy.
Wow.
What I recommend is maybe do some jobs for friends and family.
Yeah.
Have them hire you on Upwork, like some of your existing clients even, have them hire you on Upwork so they can leave reviews for you.
Right.
Once you have reviews, it's a little bit easier to get jobs. Even once you have reviews, you might naturally rank higher for your keywords. Like, I don't know where I rank now, but I'm usually top 20. And checking from my own account, it may not show up, but like if you type Wikipedia talent here.
No, you type Wiki.
Oh, I mistyped it.
Yeah, you type it Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, there you go. You see all the talent that come up.
Wow.
Because whoever it ranks high is usually people have 95% or better success rate.
Right.
You see these guys? I know most of these people because they've been there for. I'm number 5.
Wow.
So you start getting offers, and when you get offers, you don't pay for that. Wow. You don't pay any credits. If they request you to apply for a job, you don't pay for that. And when somebody posts a job on Upwork, they can pick, I think, 20 or 30 freelancers to invite to their job. So when they invite you, you don't pay for that. So it's good, So you start getting more jobs once you have top rating. Now, at some point, I had 100% rating. This is last year around this time. And it's amazing how much difference that made. I was number 1 for a bunch of different things. Even SEO, I was number 1. Wow. Reputation management, I was number 1. And I was getting maybe about 20 to 30 leads a day, just doing nothing. Yeah, a day. Now, I normally get maybe 20 to 30 leads a week for having the rankings that I have now, the free leads that you get. But when you have excellent ranking, you'll get more leads, Wow. It also depends on your niche too. So yeah, so my recommendation is find a niche that's not so competitive. Forget about social media marketing, forget about SEO. Forget about Google Ads and Facebook Ads because there's so many people doing it.
Yeah. What's your thought on AI right now? People who are freelancer on AI, ChatGPT, is that something that can be good for Upwork? Or
the only way AI has helped me personally is with content writing.
Right.
And actually it saves me a little bit money because I use content writers. And rather than hiring content writers, I've used to come up with some content myself. Now, AI is, as you probably know, it's not always perfect. So you still have to proofread it, make sure like some of the information it gave you back, it's accurate. Right. And grammar-wise, sometimes sounds like machine generated. So you may want to go in there and tweak it a little bit to make it a little bit more human and revise some of the verbiage. So I never use the AI generated content as is and post it anywhere, but I might use it to get some additional ideas, and then I will go and do more revisions. It's still a time saver. In some cases, you can post it as is. Like sometimes I make bios for people, and I need to make like 30 bios for somebody. So I'll have the AI make me 3 different bios or 10 different bios, and then I'll just still do proofreading. It sounds good, I keep it, because sometimes. Now I think that SEO wise, Google says that they don't penalize AI, but I wouldn't trust that. I'm afraid to completely trust AI generated content for SEO. So I still have my content writers do all content writing from scratch for SEO purposes, just to be safe.
But someone who is an AI specialist on Upwork, is that a good niche where they can?
Yeah, I think so, because it's a new niche and people want to learn about AI. Maybe they want to hire an AI. Here we got AI services. I haven't even seen this link here, right? So there are people already offering AI services. They either whatever they do with AI, they train you or whatever they do, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if people want to learn or use AI specialists. Now, there's also like they use AI for sales purposes, right? There are these experts that are lead generators. They got it down, and I don't know how to do that myself. I haven't tried, but they use AI for like lead generation and autoresponders and all kind of things. If you can find someone like that, you need a lead generator and find an AI expert that does that. That would be kind of a good idea. I was talking to someone the other day, is an email marketer, and for email marketing, he uses AI to personalize the emails that go out.
Mhm.
So that means that it doesn't go in the junk boxes as much or spam folders as much, because your emails are not exactly the same every time they go out. There's a difference. The AI will slightly modify it. But also he uses AI as autoresponders and for different purposes to even uses AI to find leads. I don't exactly know how, but this guy knew what he was doing. So yeah, there are some specialists out there that can help you with AI and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's also a good niche right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Everybody's talking about.
Interesting is that somebody hired me last year they're an AI company like OpenAI, but a different one. What are their competitors? Forget their name actually. They hired me to analyze the responses the AI was giving me and to say if it's correct or not incorrect and leave comments. So basically, I was a beta tester for an AI platform that's up and coming AI platform. I was a beta tester for them.
Oh wow, that's gonna be a good thing to add to
that was a job I got on Upwork. That people can try to get jobs like that are out there. There are also like a lot of what I also recommend, and you find jobs that are like $10 or $20 jobs on Upwork. Like some people are looking for Amazon reviewers. Yeah. They'll send you a product for free for you to use it and post a review. There are jobs like that. I don't know the legalities of that. Make sure you check the legalities in your country before you accept it.
Right.
But there are jobs like that too that you could get. It may not be in your niche, but to get reviews, it helps.
Right.
Doesn't matter who the review came from. You get $10 or $20 jobs like that. Like if like let's say you're a graphic designer and you're charging $100 an hour, maybe drop your rate to like $10 an hour to get some jobs and reviews. And once you get those reviews in, then you raise your hourly rate, and then you start getting the real jobs. So that's kind of the way to do it.
This is a great advice from someone who is top there. I hope people are listening. Yeah. Pierre, thank you so much for being so generous and for educating us. I hope we can do this next time again to dive deep into other topic like SEO, like web design and all of those other topics.
I mean, there is so much I can talk about. So maybe we could do another subject a second time, or we could do another Wikipedia part 2.
Yeah,
talk about more advanced Wikipedia editing later. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.